with Edina Realty. And today I am going to go through how to create a mini client review for your clients or people you're trying to turn into clients. So we will just hop right into it. First things first, I'm gonna back up. You're gonna want to go into Core Present, Emma Present, sorry. I always go back and forth, but it's Emma Present. To get there, you will go into ProKit. You'll click on the My Marketing tab, and then on this top banner, you're going to click Visit Present. So when you click on that, you're going to enter into Present, and right away you'll see you have 5 different presentation types. Today we are going to focus on the seller presentation. But before we get into it, I do want to point out that at the top banner, you have your custom settings. So this is where you can go in and fill out your about page and your testimonials page. And then you also have the presentation library. And when you go into the presentation library, you'll see all the slides that Edina Realty has created for you. And this is also where you can upload and create your own slides. So I always like to point this out because if you do want to create custom slides, you will have to upload it to your presentation library first in order to use it in a presentation. So we're going to get into it. We are going to build a mini client review, which is, lack for better words, a mini CMA. We're going to click Start underneath Presentation for Sellers. And right away, it's going to have you start filling out an address. So you actually have 2 options in this area. You can get super specific if you want to send this to a client and you know their address. You can enter in their address right here. Otherwise, these are great just to send out to a specific area you are farming. So if we wanted to go a specific area route, in the address section, you can type in market review. And then in the city section, you would put the city that you're targeting. So today I'm in the Forest Lake office, so we're going to go with Forest Lake. And then for the state, you're just going to put in Minnesota. Once that's entered, you're going to click next, and right away you'll see a pin on your map. So it's not pulling specific information because this is more of a general market review. But if you did put in an address, it would pull bed count, bath count, and all the other details based on tax records. I would make sure that you double check what it entered, just because sometimes it might count half baths as not a full bath, so you might need to update it. Or if you know they have more square feet, you can manually enter in that information here. So since we're doing more of a general review, we will have to enter in some statistics on the area we are trying to target. This doesn't have to be super accurate. You can just kind of play on what the neighborhood typically is like. Is it mostly single family homes? You can really just enter in guesstimates because it won't matter super much, a ton on the down the road. But once that's entered, you will just click on Next Comparable Details at the bottom. And so now we are going to start pulling comps within that area. So you have a few options here. You can use the Present tool where it says Auto, or if you have your own specific MLS IDs, you can click on Manual to enter those in. But today we're going to use the Auto population tool.
Like if you put 1998, can you put dash?
Yep. Yeah.
The years.
Yes. Yep.
Good question.
Yes. So an agent just asked if you can do ranges instead of saying it's 1 bed. You can say it's 1 to 3 beds. So you can do ranges. Another thing too on your map is it will auto-populate a circle for you. but you can use the drawing tool to get super specific. So if you wanted to zoom in, hold on 1 second here, we're going to get into an area. But you can zoom in, find the neighborhood, and then you can draw on your map exactly where you're targeting. And I'm not sure if that's a neighborhood, so we're gonna reset it, but you can do that. But on the left-hand side, you'll just start to go through and make your customizations for the auto pull. And then,
That's where you change it over.
yep, exactly. So you can have your ranges in here. And once you start filling out the left side on your map, you'll start to see pins populate. And one thing I like to point out is you'll see, for example, you'll see a pin that's gray, but it has a red outline. So that's a sold home. However, since it's gray, you need to click on it and you will add it to your comps for it to be included in your presentation. So now it changed from gray to a bright red. But you can start clicking on them just to see basic information. You can click more info to see exactly what it's pulling. And let's see here. So yep, so this is where you'll add in your pins. You can add as many as you'd like. But once that's all done, you're going to click on Next Build CMA. And so now this is where we're going to build our CMA. So first things first, I would recommend clicking on comparables. And this is going to show all of the homes that you selected on the previous slide. You can click on each of them, see images, more information on the home. If you decide that you don't want to include a home anymore, you can click delete and it will remove it from your presentation. So as you can see here, I have 10 closed homes and 3 active homes currently showing in my presentation. So everything looks good there. I'm going to close out of this screen. And on this graph, you'll start to see that it's inputting certain homes based on the comps you sold. So when you click on trends, you'll see it's showing the average priced home. Oops. Maybe we want to also show the most recent. And you can filter through what shows on that graph.
And sometimes we want to switch to median
Yeah.
price because that gets rid of any unicorns.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
so that might be a good tip there. Because a lot of times it's like there's a unicorn that, you know, maybe got sold to a neighbor or
Mhm.
a grandson or something like that, or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's a great tip. So just in case everyone didn't hear Lisa, but Lisa said that sometimes it's better to check the median price versus the average price that's auto selected, just in case there are some unique listings or unicorns, like she said. I like that term. So great tip. Definitely unselect average and select median if you'd like to go that route. But once everything's selected and you are happy with the results, you can click the X and now you'll see those new homes we selected are on this graph. So I do want to point out, since this is more of a generic market report, you won't necessarily fill out all the inputs. If this was a home that you're specifically targeting, you could put a range for that home if you would like. And then the information below is pulling statistics for who you're sending this out to. So when you send this out, it could say, the average monthly list price for your home or the area is this. So this is just pulling statistics based on the comps you pulled and the area you are targeting. So now we're going to move on to the next step, which is create presentation. So you'll click on that red button in the top right corner. And we are going right into building your presentation that your sellers will be viewing. So the first thing you want to do under the presentation settings, where it says mode, you're going to click CMA. So the reason for this is since this is a mini client review, you're only going to give them specific slides about the CMA instead of giving them everything. The goal with this is it's going to start a conversation and hopefully get them to schedule a meeting with you. And then that's when you do a full presentation. But this one's just going to be very simple, more of an introduction. So your cover slide, if you do the market review route, it will autofill to that. So you could change the text by clicking on the pencil if you wanted to make this something else. And then same with this bottom line, you can click on the pencil and instead of having the specific bedrooms and bathrooms listed, you could just say by Peyton Anderson or your name. But completely customizable, anything you would like to say. And then you're going to start to see your CMA slides that you created. So you can go through here. If you don't want to include a slide, so maybe we want to leave this one out, you would just click on the X on the left side and now it removed that from, now it removed that from your presentation. But as you can see right now, I currently only have 3 slides. For this presentation type, I would recommend adding in a couple of slides. Good slides to add for this would be your About Me slide, a testimonial slide, and then I know a lot of agents that I work with also include a custom slide where they talk about what is this? What's the point of this presentation? So those are 3 great slides to create and include. If you want to include a slide to your presentation, you'll just click right on it and it will become dim. And then you would select add selected slide and now they're in your presentation. And you can move around the format. So maybe the About Me would go to the front. Normally it would scroll up. I must be having a little, there we go. So you can move them around to change the order of the slides. But all right, so now that that is completed, your presentation's done. So now it's time for you to present and share the presentation. So to do that, you're going to click present and share in the top right corner. And then you have a series of options here. So the save and add a client, if this is a presentation that you made customized for a specific client, you can add this to their contact in your Emma contacts. That's nice because then if you send it to them today and they reach out 6 months later, this presentation will still be tied to them. So you can look back to see what you pulled 6 months ago and what has updated. However, if this is more of a generic presentation, I would recommend copying the link and then going to your email to email to email it out to people, or you can click download and print if you want to download a PDF version to give to people. But that is the mini CMA. I'm going to stop sharing and I'll open it up if there's any questions. So feel free to turn on your mics and talk or send a chat and I'm here to answer anything.
Anybody got any questions?
In White Bear Lake, we have one.
Yes.
I noticed that there was a URL. If I'm on a neighborhood group page or anything like that, can I copy and paste that in?
100%. Yep. So you can definitely just take the link. Sorry, I have definitely take the link and then open up Facebook. You could create a QR code if you put it on a flyer so that people can scan it to access the market review. Anything you would like, you can definitely share this out.
Yeah, with the Emma Roadshow, they were suggesting that if you work a specific area, that you should be doing a market report all on a regular basis, just
For
telling
sure.
people like, hey, that you know the Forest Lake
Mhm.
area, that you know the
Mhm.
White Bear area. So that, you know, people can see that, and a lot of people are doing it on a monthly basis, weekly basis, letting people
Yep.
know what's happening in the area. And using that copy and paste is exactly how you do that.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, if you're targeting a specific area, this is great to send out monthly. I have a lot of agents that have made it a goal for 2025 that every week they're going to send out 5 to their contacts. Just because even if someone's not necessarily looking to sell this year, it's still a great conversation starter, and it's a way to show, hey, just so you know, I stay up on my market analysis. This is what's going on with your home. Great way to just stay in front of people and stay top of mind.
This is great.
Any other questions? You can always reach out to me too. I was telling Lisa before this, I have pre-made slides that walk through this entire process. And in the slides is a link to a video that David and Jill created. So you'll have that for reference that we'll send out with this recording. And then if you ever have additional questions, you're more than welcome to fill out a marketing request and book some time with myself or your appointed marketing coordinator, and we can walk through the process with you too.
Yep.
All right.
This was great.
All right.
Thanks, Peyton.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Peyton. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you all later.